Again, good day everyone. For now, we will discuss about the Chapter 8 period of activism. Here are some historical background about this period. Ponciano Pineda claimed that both national and international issues contribute to the 1970 to 1972 youth activism. Kung mapapansin nyo, maiksi lang yung period sa time na ito. From year 1970 to 1972, almost 2 years lang. Activism and our country's history are intertwined. Isa pang konektado sa activism ay ang mga kabataan. Kumbaga, they play the major role during this time in activism. The youth felt compelled to seek reform as a result of social issues. Kumbaga ay hahanap talaga sila ng butas tungkol sa mga issue na nangyayari sa kanilang kapaligiran. Some people persisted in their belief that the democratic government is stable and that the only responsible parties are those in power. Some people thought democracy should be replaced with socialism or communist system. Nung panahon nga nito ay sino nga ba yung presidente na namumuno sa ating bansa? Ito nga ay si President Marcos. At siya nga yung tinuturing natin na isang diktador. At dahil nga dito ay nabuo yung mga grupo na lumalaban sa gobyerno. Ito nga yung tinatawag natin na activist. Na kung saan ay halos karamihan ay ang mga kabataan. And some young people who were inspired by nationalism wrote with passion to express this desire for change and to underline the significance of their petitions. Siyempre, sa panahong ito, di nawala yung paglaban through writing. Ginamit pa din nila ang pagsulat bilang sandata, di lang puro yung pagrararil na nangyayari. Along with rebel writers, many teenage activists were detained in military prisons. We may say that many of the writers who were in prison throughout this time period of history were genuine national heroes. Sino nga ba naman ang handang makulong, di ba? Siyempre, those who loves our country talaga. Numerous works accurately capture and represent these eras, but many of them are unknown. And numerous authors still need to be interviewed. So medyo nakakahinayang isipin na baka sa sobrang daming works pa na di man lang nare-record at na-acknowledge. Simply said that, we leave it up to academics and researchers. Give credit where credit is due. At dumako naman tayo dito sa The Seeds of Activism. Sabi dito na ang martial law daw ang naging bunga o naging sanhi kaya nagkameron ng activism. Siguro naman ay alam natin yung martial law na itinatag ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Sr. noong 1972. However, we can assert that the seeds had already planted throughout the reigns of Lapu-Lapu, Lacandula, and Rizal. One may argue that the youth in the Philippines who veins run with fire are alone responsibly for the revolt against the country's great powers. Even now, what Rizal said about youth serving as the nation's future is still true. At bilang kabataan ay ating patunayan na ang sinasabi nga ni Rizal ay totoo, na tayo ang magiging pag-asa ng ating bayan. At ang sunod ay itong period of the bloody placard. Pineda added that youth have demonstrated at this time once more that our nationalism and race are not formed. Perpetual denial. Kasi dati, pag sinabi talaga nating activist ay lumalaban talaga sila para sa kanilang bayan. Hindi tulad ngayon na pag sinabing activist ay ang unang pumapasok agad sa isip natin ay leftist groups o yung mga grupo na tiwalag sa gobyerno. At sinasabi nga dito na ang patient natin ay limitado lamang. At pag ito nga ay sobrang inabuso ay masabog na lang ito parang bulkan at ito yung nagiging sanhi ng mga rally. At may isang placard nga dito na naglalaman na ang ibig sabihin ay ano yung buhay kung may mga tao namang hindi kayang tumayo sa kanilang mga sarili o sa kanilang mga paa para ipaglaban ang kanilang sarili o ang mga susunod na henerasyon. Kaya bilang kabataan ay hindi maling ipaglaban natin ang ating karapatan kung tama naman ang ating ipaglalaban. Ang susunod naman ay tatalakayin ng mga susunod na report.
The Literary Revolution. The youth became completely rebellious during this period. This was proven not only in the bloody demonstrations and in the sidewalk expressions, but also in literature. Campus newspapers showed rebellious emotions. The once aristocratic writers developed an awareness for society. They held pens and wrote on placards in red paint an equivalent of the word Makibaka, like on what you see on the picture. They attacked the ills of society and politics. Any establishment became the symbol of the ills that had to be changed. The frustrations of youth could be felt in churches and schools. Even the priests, teachers, and parents, as authorities who should be respected, became the targets of the radical youth and were thought of as hindrances to the chances they sought. The literature of the activists reached a point where they stated boldly what should be done to effect these changes. Some of those who rallied to this revolutionary form of literature were Ronaldo Tino, Rogelio Manghas, Efren Abueg, Rio Alma, and Clemente Bautista. During this period, the writings was become meaningful. One of the example of writing in this period was this one. Marahil dahop and dila ko upang isaulot ipaliwanag ang panaginip at kamatayan ng sanlakasang anak pawis. Saksi ako sa palahaw ng mga dalagitang tila tinakatay na parang babot. Habang ginagahasan ng mga hayok na politiko at negosyante, sabuyan ng putik ng mga kongresistang pagkuluan, kapiling ang kani-kaniyang alipores at tagapayong puti ay nag-uunahang ibenta ang bayan. Ano ang silbi ng kabayanihan? Ng limos na laurel at ginto. Ipinangangalan sa iyo isang kaling bako-bako o kaya lumuting monumentong ihian ng mga lasenggo. And it was translated in English, this one. Maybe my mind is improvised, impoverished to explain, to put to memory. The dreams and the deaths of the poor. I'm witness to the cries of young girls butchered like pigs, while being raped by greedy politicians and businessmen. In the mudslinging of congressmen who at once joins their followers and alien advisors, who compete to sell their country. What price heroism of laurel and golden alms? They'll name you after Crook Street or a monument which drunkards use for throwing. And this one. Also, during this period, bomba films that discredit our way as Filipino started to come out.
Okay, good morning. At this time, ang ipapalabanan ko naman ay Palangka Award is for Literature in English, which is napalibaran ko na to kanina, tapos explain ko lang ulit para mas maintindihan. Palangka Award is for Literature in English. The Don Carlos Palangka Memorial Awards for Literature is popularly known as the Palangka Award, which is ito nga yung literary awards for Philippine writers. Palangka Memorial Awards or Palangka Memorial Award for Literature ay na-establish noong 1950, which is ginawa ito to inspire and recognize Philippine writers for a short story, poetry, and one-act playwriting as incentive to nga para sa mga Filipino writers. Tapos yung mga prizes sa mga naging award ay napaliwanag ko na kanina kung saan galing. Tapos yung mga kung sino yung naging founder at nag-organize. Punta naman tayo doon ngayon sa English short story. Noong 1971, naganap ang awarding ng English short story, which is may nakakuha ng first prize, second prize, and third prize. Ang nakakuha ng first prize ay ang The Ritual by Cirilo F. Bautista. Second prize, Beast in the Field ni Russell Mujares, at third prize ni Children of the City by Aparis Maria Guerrero. Yung The Ritual, Ang theme ng story niya is about the ancient culture and tradition of people who live in remote places away from society. Tapos, kung kikilalanan natin si Cirilio F. Bautista, si Cirilio F. Bautista ay pinanganak noong July 9, 1941 sa Pilipinas at namatay naman siya noong May 6, 2018 sa Manila. Si Cirilio F. Bautista ay isang Filipino poet, critic, and writer of non-fiction. Meron siyang ibang gawa tulad na lang ng Boneyard, Breaking, Sugat ng Salita, The Archipelago, Telex Moon, Summer, Sun, Charts, The Cave and Roses, The Poetry of Amado B. Tapos si Cirilio Bautista naman ay nag-aral sa De La Salle University, Manila, St. Louis University Main Campus, Ligarda Elementary School, University of Santo Tomas at Victorino Mapa High School. Tapos si Cirilio Bautista ay may asawa. Ang pangalan ng asawa niya ay si Rosemary Bautista, kung saan ito ay isa ring Pilipina. Ang nakakuha naman sa second prize ay ang Beast in the Field ni Rizal Mujares. Ang Beast in the Field is a narrative story of California farm workers noong 769 to 1913. At kung kikilalan natin si Rizal Mujares, si Rizal Buagas Mujares ay isang Philippine historian and critic of Philippine literature, best known as for his book on Philippine history. He is acclaimed by various writers and critics as the Visayan Titan of letters due to his immense contribution to Visayan literature. Si Rizal Mujares na pala ay pinanganak noong September 4, 1943 sa Zamboanga del Norte. Siya ay 79 years old na. At si Rizal Mujares ay nag-aral sa University of San Carlos Talamban Campus at University of the Philippines, Diliman. Si Rizal Mujares ay may 4 na anak, si Kim Carmel, Mark Soren, Reza Gale at si Annalie. Punta naman tayo sa third prize, kung saan gawa ito ni Amadis Maria Guerrero, na ito ay Children of the City. Ang Children of the City, ang story nun ay nagpo-focus sa event na nangyari sa buhay ni Victor. Kasi si Victor at a young age, he lost his father, left by his mother, and has to work as a newsboy to be able to survive. The central theme of the story, in my opinion, is how the world is unjust and cruel to everyone. Kung kikilalali naman natin si Amadis Maria Guerrero, siya ay pinanganak noong April 15, 1941 at siya 81 years old na ngayon, kung saan nung pinanganak siya sa Armita, Manila. Si Amadis Maria Guerrero ay isang author of short story and freelance journalist who has been contributing to the Enquirer since 1992. Punta naman tayo dito sa English poetry, which is noong naganap din to noong 1970 to 1971 na awarding sa first prize, second prize, and third prize. Nakakuha ng first prize ay The Archipelago ni Cirilio F. Bautista. 5 poems ni Wilfredo Pascua nakakuha ng second prize. Ang nakakuha naman third prize ay ang From Mactan to Mindiola ni Federico Lixi Espino Jr. The Archipelago by Cirilio F. Bautista, ito yung first book in the trilogy, which is natakal ito to Spanish colonization of the Philippines, begin with the passage from Antonio de Morgas. This poem is an indictment of a corrupt and oppressive government. Si Bautista used big shot to refer the oppressive government in the forces it uses to enact its oppressive policies. Nung nakakuha naman ng second prize ay ang 5 poems ni Wilfredo Pascua Sanchez, kung saan wala akong makita sa mga sinesearch ko na background nung 5 poems at saka ni Wilfredo Pascua Sanchez. Punta na tayo dun sa third prize ni Federico Lixi Espino Jr. na From Mactan to Mindiola. Yung From Mactan to Mindiola, ito yung poem of protest and others. Kung kikilalanin naman natin si Federico Lixi Espino Jr., siya isang Philippine author na pinanganak noong April 10, 1939 sa Pasig at namatay naman siya noong taong 2011. Meron din siyang iba't ibang mga libro tulad na ng Tinikling, A Chef of Poems, na kung saan pag-aaralan din natin mamaya, at ito namang From Mactan to Mindiola na kung saan ito yung tinatakal natin ngayon at marami pang iba. May naganap pang isang awarding sa English poetry. kung saan nakakuha ng first prize, second prize, at third prize. Ang first prize na ay The Tomato Game ni NVM Gonzalez. Second prize, The Apollo Centennial by Gregorio C. Brillantes. Third prize, After This Our Exile by Elsa Martinez Cascuela. Yung first prize, The Tomato Game ni NVM Gonzalez. Yung sa book, nakalagay na English poetry, nakabilong ito. Pero when I search it, lumabas na ito ay short story which is about a lawyer who asked to study the universe and to make it explode. Pero siguro, part na talaga to ng English poetry kasi dito siya ni awarding. Kung kikilalanin naman natin si NVM Gonzalez, si NVM is a Filipino novelist. Tapos ang totoo niyang pangalan ay Nestor Vicente Madali Gonzalez. Isa din siyang short story writer, essayist, and poet. Siya ay isang na-conferred as a national artist ng Philippine literature noong 1997. Si NVM ay pinanganak noong September 8, 1915 sa Romblon at namatay naman siya noong November 28, 1999 sa Quezon City. Bago tayo lumipat sa second prize, si NVM ay meron ding mga short stories na ginawa. Tulad ng Children of the Ash, Covered Loam, The Tomato Game, Lupo and the River on the Ferry. Yun yung mga gawa niya na short stories, mga ibang niyang short stories na ginawa. Punta naman tayo dun sa second prize ni Gregorio C. Brillantes, nakuha ni Gregorio C. Brillantes, kung saan ito ay ang The Apollo Centennial. Ang The Apollo Centennial ay short story, pero kabilang naman to sa poetry. Itong The Apollo Centennial ay na-publish noong 1980. At kung kilala natin si Gregorio C. Brillantes, ito ay pinanganak noong December 18, 1932 sa Kamiling. Siya ay 89 years old na ngayon, na kung saan nag-aral siya sa Ateneo de Manila University. Punta naman tayo dun sa third prize na After This Our Exile by Elsa Martinez Cascuela. Elsa Martinez is a Filipino poet, short story writer, and also a playwright from Bacolod. She is married to Jose Orlando H. Cascuela at nag-aral siya sa Silliman University. Meron din siya at iba't ibang libro tulad na lang In Time Passing and Other Poems, Become and Other Poems. Punta naman tayo ngayon sa English one-act play, kung saan may nakakuha pa rin ng first prize, second prize, at third prize. Ang kinagawaran ng first prize ay ang Batik Maker and Other Poems ni Virginia R. Moreno. Second prize, The Age of the Wind by Artemio Tadena. Third prize, Tinikling, A Ship of Poems ni Federico Lixi Espino Jr. Ito na yon. Punta muna tayo sa Batik Maker and Other Poems ni Virginia R. Moreno. Noong 1972, the first collection of poems of Virginia titled as Batik Maker and Other Poems, which is won a first place in Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards. Saan ito na yon. Tapos kung kikilalanin natin si Virginia, siya ay isang Filipino writer, poet, and playwright na pinanganak noong 1925 sa Tondo at namatay noong August 14, 2021. Si Virginia ay nag-aral sa University of the Philippine System International Writing Program. Punta naman tayo sa second prize na nakuha ni Artemio Tadena na The Age of the Wind. Si Artemio Tadena ay pinanganak noong December 6, 1939 sa Dumaguete at namatay noong December 5, 1977. The Age of the Wind ang described as With a Woman Love at Selected Poems, yung iba't iba niyang mga libro. Yung The Age of the Wind pala is about the kids who find naked girls body next to a river but they don't tell the police. Punta naman tayo dun sa third prize, Tinikling, A Chef of Poems by Federico Lixi Espino Jr. It is also a work of Federico Lixi Espino Jr. na kung saan nag-search ako ng some background ng Tinikling or ng A Chef of Poems, pero wala lumalabas. Ang Federico Lixi Espino Jr. ay napakilala ko na sa inyo kanina at naibigay ko na yung background sa inyo kanina na siguro naman ay naiintindihan na. Yun na nga, ang first prize ay Batik Maker and Other Poems. Second prize, The Age of the Wind na Artemio Tadena. Third prize, Tinikling, A Chef of Poems by Federico Lixi Espino Jr. Meron pang isang awarding ng one-act play. Ito yung nakakuha ng first prize, second prize, and third prize. Ang first prize is The Grotesque Among Us by Maiden Flores. I searched some background pero walang malabas. Tapos punta na tayo dun sa second prize ni Age of Prometheus ni Jesus T. Peralta. Ang Prometheus is a titan god of fire. He was known by defying the gods by stealing fire from them and giving it to humanity. Prometheus is a symbol of protest against religion, morality, limitation to human endeavors, prejudice, and the abuse of power. Kung kikilalanin natin si Jesus T. Peralta or Jesus Tamayo Peralta, siya isang painter, photographer, graphic artist, poet, anthropologist, archaeologist, essayist, and also one of the prize-winning playwrights in the Philippines. Si Jesus T. Peralta ay pinanganak noong December 26, 1932 sa Fort William McKinley, kung saan ngayon ay siya 89 years old na. Punta naman tayo doon sa third prize ni Operation Pacification by Alfredo O. Cuenco. Ang Alfredo O. Cuenco ay pinanganak noong April 1937 sa Tondo at namatay noong December 25, 2013. Ito pa yung other ng English one act play. First prize grade for Blue Flower ni Jesus T. Peralta. He is a 10-time winner in the Carlos Palanca in literature in the fields of playwriting. Napakilala ko naman na niya sa inyo si Jesus T. Peralta. Tapos yung grave of the for the flower, Blue Flower, nag-search ako ng tungkol dito pero wala akong makita na at wala lumalabas. Yung second prize naman is The Undiscovered Country ni Manuel M. Martel. Si Manuel M. Martel ay pinanganak noong March 1975, which is yun lang yung nakuha kong background ni Manuel M. Martel at wala akong makuha na tingnan tungkol sa Undiscovered Country ni Manuel M. Martel. Punta man tayo sa third prize. Now, kung saan ang judge ay nag-recommend ng 3 tao na mananalo ng third prize na kung saan paghahati-hatian yung 1,000 pesos. Mga taong ito ay si Rolando Estino, si Julian Ida Hanay, at Elsa Martinez Consuela. Yung kay Rolando Estino is yung The Boxes. Tapos yung kay Julian Ida Hanay naman is Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. Tapos yung kay Elsa Martinez naman ay Consuela, The Renegade. Kung kikilala natin si Rolando Esteno, ay pinanganak siya noong July 7, 1997. Isa din siyang Filipino poet, dramatist, director, actor, critic, essayist, and educator. Si Julian Idacanay, wala akong nakita sa background niya, at saka yung kay Elsa Martinez Consuela. So, yon, and maraming salamat.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ako ay si Metusalem Juda Balana Lopos. Ako ang inyong reporter para sa period of activism para dito sa chapter na dito sa chapter nito. Chapter. Letter. Writings during this period. Una tatalakayin ay si Jose F. Lacaba. Siya ay pinanganak noong November 25, 1945 sa Misamis Oriental. Isa siyang screenwriter, editor at journalist. At ilan sa kanyang mga ginawa itong Jaguar noong 1979, Angela Mercado 1980, Pakawalan Mo Ako 1981, Boatman 1984, and Sister Stella L 1984, and Experience 1984. Siya ang din ang nagsulat ng aklat na Days of Disquiet, Nights of Rage, The First Quarters pala, Storm and Related Events. Then, talakayin natin itong Days of Disquiet, Nights of Rage ay tungkol sa Philippine protest movement of the 1960s and 70s. At ang aklat ito ay consider na reference ng karamihan regarding sa subject na ito. Siya ang naging manual ng mass media students, ng writer of new journalism, literary journalism, and creative nonfiction. At ayon kay Jose F. Lacaba, ang period nito ay sa kanyang salita ay sa kanyang sinulat dito ay that first quarter of the year 1970, it was a glorious time, a time of terror and fraud, but also a time for hope. The signs of change were on the horizon. A powerful storm was sweeping the land, a storm whose inexorable advance no earthly force could stop, and the name of the storm was history. Ngayon, may isang review ng aklat na ito na ginawa ni Ma Teresa Angelina Q. Tabada. Siya ay mula sa UP Cebu. At ayon sa kanya, ang aklat na ito ay isang brief narration of the event in the perspective of a chronicler whose rebellion the overthrow of an authoritarian regime through eyewitnesses and with emotional involvement. Ngayon, itong aklat na ito ay pinablish noong 1982. Siya ay unang pinablish noong 1982. Ang kanyang publication date ay 1986. Ito ay compilation ng essay written by Lacaba. At nung mga publish na yung pinablish niya sa Philippine Free Press and the Asia Philippine Leader. So, tingnan natin yung iba pang mga dito din sa aklat na ito ay mention niya ang mga estudyante na nagawa ng mga organisasyon na laban na nagpo-protest sa dictatorship ni Ferdinand Marcos. At ilan dito ang SUCOR, SUCCOR, YDS, ang KTFB-D, ang Sagupa, ang SMP, ang KKK, ang KM, ang MDP, at ang SDK. Maliban sa kanyang mga sinulat ni si F. Lacaba, ay mayroon ding ibang mga manunulat na naghangad to pour out their anguish and frustrations in words describing themselves as gasping for the air, thirsting for the water of freedom. Ito. That's the Philippine Center for the International Pen, Poets, Essayists, and Novelists held a conference centering on the writer's lack of freedom in a climate of fear. Among the writers in this group were Nick Joaquin. Siya ay na-mention din sa chapter 7. Siya ay pinanganak noong May 4, 1917 ng Paco, Manila. Siya namatay noong April 29, 2004 sa San Juan. Dan sa kanyang mga sinulat ay ang May Day Eve, 1947, Prose and Poems, 1952, The House on Zapote Street, 1960, The Woman Who Had Two Novels, 1961. Si S.P. Lopez din ay isa sa mga writers ng grupo. Siya ay pinanganak noong May 27, 1911 sa Corimao. At siya ay namatay noong October 18, 1993 sa Manila. Yan sa kanyang masinulat ang Elpidio Quirino, The Judgment of History, Hours of Gold, A History of Mining in the Philippines. Ilan pa ay si Gregorio Brillantes, si F. Sionel Jose, siya pinanganak noong December 3, 1924, namatay ng January 6, 2022. Kumailan lamang. At ang kanya notable na sinulat ay The Rosales Saga Novels, 1962 to 1984. Si Petronilo Daroy, Letty Jimenez Magsanok, Mauro Avelina, Jose W. Jokno. Tapos may iba pang mga tao na mula sa ibang media na nag-participate din sa hangaring magkaroon ng kalayaan. At sila lumaban sa pagka-censorship ng kanilang mga ginawa. Ilan dito ay si journalist Jose Burgos Jr., si Antonio Manieva, at si movie director na Lino Broca, si Leonidas Binesa, si Gloria Rodriguez, at ang isang music critic na si Ana Lea S. De Leon. At ayon sa kanila ay Ang kalam ginawa, they came up with the resolutions that pleaded for causes other than their own, like the general amnesty for political prisoners and other secret decrees restricting free expression. They requested editors and publishers to publish the real names of writers in their columns. It called on media to disseminate information and national interest without partisan leanings, and resolved to be united with all causes decrying oppression and repression. So, yun naman po. Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig.